Hi everyone, it's YK, Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today we're here with this gorgeous Glenallachie single cask. And I of course must say a massive thank you to my dear friend Kevin who's borrowed me this bottle so I'm able to do this review for you. So a massive thank you to you, Kevin. So this was distilled in 2006 and bottled last summer of 2019 in August, I believe. So it makes it 13 years old. So it's been in a Pedro Jimenez Hogshead cask and it's bottled at 60.1%. So this is of course a single cask, single malt. I do think it's quite funny with Glenallachie, and I can't unsee this now, but I do think this text that they have on it, the text for the distillery name, makes it look a bit like the Flintstones, which is quite funny when we actually went to visit the distillery last summer and you just have this big Flintstone text on the back of a building. But it's a distillery very close to Aberlour, so it's a Speyside distillery. And when we were at the distillery, it was actually just me and my boyfriend, and we got a little bit of a private tour because there was no one else there at the time. And we got to see the distillery when it wasn't in production, which was great because then we got to see the inside of a still, which really makes you realise how much a still is just like a big kettle, because it does have this kind of heating thing in the bottom of the still, which just kind of heats up the liquid just like a kettle does. So it's quite interesting to get to see the inside of a still. They have a really long fermentation times, which they say gives you this kind of fruity character of Glenallachie, and they're very interesting in flavour, I think. As of course Billy Walker, who's the master distiller for them at the moment, who I think can do some really great things. And one of my favourite Glenallachie's right now is I think it's the batch 2 of the Glenallachie cask strength 10-year-old, which really is a remarkable dram. It's just so juicy and so big in its flavours, and yeah. It was definitely one of my favourites. And I've actually never tried a single cask Glenallachie, and of course thanks to Kev I get to do this now. So let's have a look on the nose. It immediately makes me think of when you nose coffee beans. Like we have a jar here in the kitchen of just like coffee beans that we grind up, and just before you grind them up you get this lovely, of course you get more aroma when you've ground them down. But it's just this first kind of whiff of coffee in the morning. That's what I get. It's not just coffee, it's that kind of raisin note. It's very exotic and tropical. It makes me think of like fruits in a jungle, if that makes sense. But definitely that coffee note. A bit of dark chocolate as well. Sounds delicious, so let's have a taste. Slàinte mhath. Oof. Like Kevin would have said, this is a banging dram. Interesting. It's definitely like an explosion of flavour. It has this pineapple note to it, which I would expect, of course, when you see this colour and when you get that big burst of sherry flavours, especially from Pedro Jimenez. You get all these kind of raisin notes and kind of darker notes, but it also has this kind of fresh tropical note that to me is pineapple, like fresh, very sweet pineapple, like very tropical. And like a white sugar sweetness, and definitely that kind of coffee note. But there's something there can't put my thoughts on, put my finger on. It has like this like chocolate oranges, perhaps it is. It's like Terry's chocolate oranges, but darker. If Terry's chocolate orange was dark chocolate, really high quality dark chocolate, it might be that. But this finish as well, it's very long because it is like the flavour is gross, but it has this kind of minty fresh finish. It's like when I breathe in now, and even when I'm just talking and air is going in and out, I get this really fresh, minty feeling in my mouth, which is lovely. For being 60.1%, it's very easygoing. It's, maybe I'm just used to the high alcohol strength, this might be a bit dangerous, but it just feels, because it is that big flavour, yeah, it's so nice. Maybe that kind of coffee note's coming through, but it's more chocolatey, so maybe like mocha. Does that make sense? Mocha, pineapple, minty, raisins. Absolutely lovely. It's a beautiful whiskey. I would of course love to hear if you've tried any Glenallachie single casks, or perhaps you've tried any of their other range. They are doing some really interesting stuff with some different cask maturations like Madeira or Koval Rye, for example, as well. So please let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to read more about my visit to Glenallachie Distillery, I have of course put the link in the description here below. And if you've liked this video, it would mean so much to me if you would give a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any of the other videos I have coming up very soon. But as always, have a lovely day. Slán Skål!